Hi dolls. I haven't made a video in a long time, so I figured I would make a quick one about Fajas because obviously if you are having surgery in the Dominican Republic, you know that your Faja is basically like everything that happens after the surgery centers around the Faja. And unlike a lot of people, I didn't get into my stage 2 until a month after my surgery. So I'm 3 weeks post-op right now, and I came home with a large faja, and I couldn't get it on when I got back. And then I went for my first massage eventually, and I bought a slightly larger faja. So it was 2 sizes larger, actually. It was 2X. But as you know, in fajas, that's pretty small, and it was really hard to get on. And I was really upset because I wasn't making any progress. And everybody was saying, like, oh, I have to buy a new faja, I had to get mine altered, I moved from the first hooks to the last hooks, and that wasn't happening for me. And it got to the point where I was like 6 weeks post-op, and I was like, oh my god, I'm never going to have that happen for me. It's just everybody else has that, and I'm just going to be in the same faja forever on the first set of hooks. And it was really, like, disheartening. I just felt like I wasn't doing the faja process properly. And, you know, the first time that I had to have my faja put on me, it only took a minute, and I think that if you have somebody who can help you, which I don't, my daughter helped me with my faja before she went away for part of the summer, so I'm here with my son, and he's a 16-year-old boy, and my dad's here sometimes, so I don't think that there's anybody who could help me. My husband is supposed to come next month. I don't know when, but at that point, I don't know how much help I'm going to need with the faja. Anyway, the way that she helped me was I was laying down, and I've seen a lot of posts say to put your faja on laying down, but I don't know how you do that unless, like, I just don't know how you could possibly do that alone. But when you're laying down, you have somebody else. It seemed like she was using my body to counterweight it, so she picked me up with the faja, so then she had a lot of extra slack to do the hooks, and it was like boop, 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 and it like went on, and it was like, oh my god, I know this is not going to happen tomorrow, this is so sad. And they also told me to leave my faja on and kind of like wash around it for a day, which was really gross and scary, but I managed to wash like every area that needed washing, and I did that. I have a dressing on under it, so I don't know if I could do that with this. So but the reason why is because I have a new faja on today. So I came home with a large, and I got the last row of hooks in a week from the first row. So what I ended up doing was using an abdominal binder, like people use after surgery here, for like a week to hold my dressings in place, and that made it easier to do the hooks on the faja. Excuse me. To do the hooks on the faja, with the dressings on. So then I was like, oh, okay, I should do this. And then I started wearing a tank top under it because it wasn't very comfortable. And then pretty soon I got the second and third set of hooks like within a week. So I was like, whoa, this really works. So, you know, I mean, that's controversial. Some people are like, oh, well, if you put things under your faja, you need to... There's a whole lot of different schools of thought. So don't listen to me. Do what works for you. But that helped me move from the first set of hooks to the last set of hooks. And then I was kind of in a conundrum because when I took off my faja this morning, the 2X, there was like 5 inches of space in the faja. Like, I could pull it, and I was like, okay, this is loose. I'd probably need either to get it taken in, which everybody says to do, and I don't know how that would work here, because you would go to somebody who's going to see the faja, and then they're going to ask you to put it on. They're going to see all the space in between the hooks before you do the faja up, and they're going to think it's too small when it's too big. I don't know how anybody does that. I mean, I wish that there was more information on that, but, and then some people take it in themselves. I'm not a seamstress. I don't know. Some people take it in the sides. Some people take it in the back. So taking in the faja thing is very dicey. I mean, don't you drop stuff off to get taken in and pick it up like a week later? Unless you have 2 fajas, it's not going to work anyway. I don't know. So I didn't even bother with getting my faja taken in yet. Now I have an extra faja, which I'll get to. So this morning I was talking to people on Facebook, and I was like, I wonder if I can get into the new faja, but I'm skipping a size. So the one I came home with was an L, and the one I was in was a 2X. And everybody said that because of I can't remember what it was, but, you know, the space in between the hooks, there's size variants, so they said that it was possible. And for half an hour, I fought with the faja, and it would not go on. It was a nightmare. I was so upset. My face was bright red. Like, it's just not bright red now, and it's like 2 hours later. So, anyway, long story short, I read earlier in an Amazon review when I was trying to see if people in the size large Faja had dimensions close to mine, or if anybody mentioned switching, when they're saying their new Faja was 2 sizes smaller than their regular one instead of 1 size smaller. And nobody said that, but one person did say the trick to putting it on is to do the first 4 hooks and then pull it up. And I tried that at first. It didn't work. Then I wrestled with it for half an hour, and then I was like, all right, I'm just going to go out to the deck and get my Faja where it's drying, and just go back into the old Faja, even though it's too big. I can't do this, and I was, like, defeated, and it was sad. And then I was like, you know what, I'll try the 4 hooks thing again. What do I have to lose? So, and those 4 hooks on the bottom, and I don't know if you have this problem, but I have this problem. The 4 hooks on the bottom are always breaking on me. So my last Faja, they broke. They weren't. They were stabbing me all day in the area of my incision and other things. Not very fun. And those also, as you know, are the longest hooks to hook. So like once you spend 10 minutes on those hooks, the other ones are pretty fast. So I pulled it on, and it didn't go up as high as it normally would. And I'm going to stand up and show you areas on my body so you can see what I'm talking about. And I think it will once it's broken in. And I think I'm going to have to wear it overnight. And then tomorrow I think I'm going to I don't know. I have an appointment at the doctor tomorrow. I have to figure it out. But anyway, so it's not up as high as it should be. So my hips look a little bit different because they're a little bit lower, like compressed than they usually are. But I pulled it up and it worked. It was not easy to get the rest of the hooks done. But it only took about 10 minutes. So in total, with the 20 to 30 minutes of struggling, I would say it took me 40 minutes today to put a Faja on. Not exactly how I want to spend a Sunday. I have an art project I have to do, but, I did want to try to get into my Faja that I came home with, because there was always this question of, will I ever get into it? So I answered that question today. So I'm going to stand up and show you, I don't know if I could show you the Faja. I don't know what it looks like. Like, I don't know if it's like, there's like anything gross or, just I wouldn't want to be on camera, but the Faja did go on the first set of hooks. I'm breaking it in. It's 2 sizes smaller than my last Faja, so you can do that. It wasn't easy, but the 4 hook trick worked for me. It's not ideal because the Faja is about in the front. It's not super bad, but like about this much space between where my bra strap would be and the Faja starts is there, even though I hooked these hooks on the last hook. So there's not, and I have a long torso, so I don't know. Anyway, so I'm going to stand up. So this, these are Fashion Nova jeans. And it's kind of dark, and of course I'm standing in front of a black chair. But, yeah, this is my Faja. So, and you can see it ends here. So it's not like there's, like, stuff, like, falling out over it or anything, but it's still a bit too low. So when I break it in, I could pull it up more. But, yeah, I like it. I'm happy with it. I love these jeans. These are the PYT jeans from Fashion Nova. And I started out with these because they don't have a button and a zipper, and because I knew I'd be going through Fajas. And they're pretty loose, but they also don't look that way, so it's great. This shirt is also from Fashion Nova, and it's just, I don't know, some random t-shirt. Anyway, so, Faja information. If you have a strong person and you can lay down, they can get the Faja on you in like a minute, but you probably know that. Fashion Nova PYT jeans, I definitely recommend them for post-op. You can skip sizes in the Faja. I did it today. I broke a nail. I have a dip manicure, and it didn't get pulled or anything. It just got knocked really hard by a hook, and it snapped. And I'm very upset about that, but there are always casualties with the Faja, so, I don't know, my manicure is pretty new. I might just crazy glue it, and, because obviously this nail is one of the operative nails for Faja putting on. As far as how long I'm going to wear the Faja for, and how long you have to, the woman who did my massages said 3 months minimum, so that for me is September 23rd. I don't know what I'm going to do, if I'm going to wear it only during the day or only at night or whatever the case is. I don't like to sleep in stuff. I don't know if that's something that you're not like, people aren't supposed to say to each other, but I really just don't like to wear things to bed. So this Faja thing has not been a natural state in bed for me. The 4-hook thing did work for me, and I have a really big butt. I just do. I always did. Before I went to the Dominican Republic, I had a big butt. That has caused me a lot of faja problems. That's another thing I wanted to say. So if you're having problems getting your faja hooked, and you feel like the faja should fit, and obviously, okay, so just so you know, with a stage 2 faja, if there isn't somebody who puts it on for you the first time, and you're alone, and when you put it on, it will stop here, and you'll be like, there's no way on earth this thing's ever going to get hooked onto my body, because there's like, it's firm, and there's like 8 inches of space in between, but it does gradually, like a corset, pull everything in, which is what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to hold the fajas so your skin heals back together with the other layers of stuff under it. Excuse me, I'm sorry. It has other purposes, but that's why people wear them for surgery. So yeah, the 4-hook thing did work for me. I don't know if it's something I need to do every day. I don't know if it's just because, if I've been missing out all along, I have to figure it out. The other thing that really helped me with fajas was using a regular binder underneath. That also helped keep dressings in place because, as you may know, if you've been told to put a dressing on this area or that area or whatever is leaking, it can be really hard because once you put the faja on, like I went to the doctor once and everything got dressed like beautifully. It was the perfect dressing. The nurse cut like this like silver alginate into like a flower shape for like my navel wound, and everything was perfect. And then I put the faja on and it just all fell out like one by one. Everything fell off and I was so disappointed. But I was like, okay, the faja and the wound dressings don't go together, but with a binder and with a tank top under or over it. Like, I didn't wear a tank top today, which I usually do, and I know the binder is going to itch me, but I don't care because I have the faja on. So, binders can help. I don't know if this is recommended or not. It's up to you. Some people think that they leave permanent indentations, but I'm kind of skeptical about that because, I mean, if it was that easy to mold your body, I think we'd all be using that, you know, life hack to do other body molding. I think even if, because every day or every 2 days or 3 days, I know some people don't take off their faja except for every 3 days, and you know, that's, I have a whole thing, I have to shower every day, and I don't think that that makes me cleaner than other people. It's just an OCD thing that I have, so if you don't take off your faja every day, and why was I even talking about this? I can't remember. That's just gone. But I take off my faja every day for the most part. One time I washed around it because that was what they told me to do, and I did. So the 4-hook thing really did help me today with a brand new faja get into it in a reasonable amount of time. Oh, the binder thing, yeah, definitely. So people say not to do it, but it holds dressings in place. I found that to be really integral in getting the faja to that was what allowed me to make progress from hook to hook. So from what I've heard, 3 months is the minimum. Some people recommend a year, but I think after 3 months, you're off the faja hook. And that's not a pun, I'm just saying, I don't think you have to torture yourself with the faja. If you're not about the faja life, and it's the 3-month mark, I think you can throw it out without guilt. I wouldn't recommend throwing it out. There might be times that you feel like you, are relapsing into, you know, post-surgical swelling and you want to have it. So, but, you know, I hate the whole, because once fajas come up, and I don't know if you've noticed this, and I love the Facebook groups. I'm not saying anyone or anything is promulgating this, but I am saying that, you know, once the faja timing thing, some poor doll comes in and says, how long do I have to wear this faja for? It's making me miserable. And then it turns into like a faja competition. Like, I wore my faja. I went back in time and I wore my faja for 5 years before surgery. So everybody's like trying to one-up one another, but after 3 months, you don't have to wear it, according to a post-op person who I saw here. People will always say it's better to wear the faja, but, you know, obviously, yes, the faja has some shaping ability, but it's not something that's shaping you permanently, and if it stops shaping you and you take it off, that's the shape you have. So it's really about, do you want to wear a corset to keep your body in a certain shape or not? And that's your choice. but you know, it's not going to permanently alter your body for very long. Its purpose is to allow the muscle to stick back to the skin and the fat layer, which has all been separated when you had your surgery. I wash my faja every day. I wash it in cold water in the washing machine. I'm not hand washing this. I'm not hand washing it. I wash it on the 26-minute cycle, and then I put it out to dry. Make sure you wash it in cold water if you have a problem hooking your faja, because the hot water will shrink it a little. The dryer will definitely shrink it. I've seen some people use that as a way to, temporarily shrink their fajas until they get a new one or until they get taken in or whatever. But also, that does degrade the elasticity of the faja, so yeah, those are just some basic faja ramblings that didn't go in any particular order on the eve of me wearing a new faja, and I just wanted to share them with you. If you have any questions about fajas, if you have any contradictory information you'd like to share, or other faja related commentary, please comment, tweet me. I hope everybody's having a good post-op or pre-op period, and thank you for watching.